You must be thinking about making a move to Plattsburg, Missouri. Well, today's your lucky day and you've come to the right place because I've put together a map video where I'm going to take you all around Plattsburg. I'm going to show you the schools, the restaurants, the shops, the major highways, and I'm going to show you everything you're going to want to know when considering a move to Plattsburg, Missouri. Hi, I'm Max Jones. I'm with the Mojo Real Estate team. My partner Zach and I have been in business helping people just like you move to Plattsburg, move to the Kansas City area, within the Kansas City area, and we absolutely love it. But don't take my word for it. All you have to do is hop on Google and you can see that we have over 600 five-star Google reviews, and you can see exactly what our clients have to say about their experience working with us. All right, with that being said, let's drive right into this map video right now. All right. You can see that I have Plattsburg pulled up and it is outlined in red here. And this is actually the city limits of Plattsburg. So a lot of people will live outside of the city limits and they will have a Plattsburg address. But right now we've got the city limits highlighted. And what I'm going to do first is zoom out from this area that I have highlighted and show you where Plattsburg actually is in relation to the Kansas City metro area. And as I zoom out here, you can see that Plattsburg is clear the heck up here, right there, in relation to, oh, there's a little, gosh darn it, this thing keeps popping up. Right there is where I am in Liberty, and this is the Kansas City metro area here, this tan blotch on the map. And so, you know, when we say that we work the entire Kansas City metro area, we do actually. We work up in Plattsburg, we work over in Atchison, Kansas, and Weston, over in Excelsior Springs, we're out in Odessa, we work down in Harrisonville, as far south as Harrisonville, Gardner. We have a listing in Spring Hill right now that just actually went pending yesterday. We've taken listings over in Tonganoxie, Leavenworth, Kansas. I've got one coming up there, a military client. So we work beyond this little tan area, and we work as far north as Plattsburg. In fact, St. Joe, we don't have a video yet on St. Joseph, but we probably should, because we do even take listings in St. Joe and show buyers in St. Joe and everywhere in between. St. Joseph recently joined the Kansas City MLS, and so that is really what is important to our clients, is that we have access to all the data and the ability to search the MLS. And so sometimes if you get out in Topeka or even in Lawrence, they use a different MLS system, and in those circumstances, when it's outside of our local MLS, then it can be hard for us to provide the best level of service to you. So we can still refer you to someone in those areas. We network for a living and know a lot of the agents that are in Topeka or in Springfield or areas that are adjacent to Kansas City. So we can give you some guidance, but as far as personally working with you, we wouldn't be able to provide as high of a level of service as we can right in our stomping grounds, so to speak. So Plattsburg is definitely within our stomping grounds, and it is kind of a unique area that it's a small little town, and you think, well, why are you focusing on Plattsburg, Max? Not a lot of people are probably going to want information on that, but you'd be surprised when people are moving into town. We had some folks come in and they had initially zeroed in on Smithville, thinking that that was the place that, you know, between Smithville and Kearney, that they would be probably wanting to be right in there. Well, they ended up buying a house in Parkville, Missouri, and you know, you just don't know what you don't know until you come to Kansas City, and we help you explore all of your options and really give you the perspective you're looking for. So that's what these videos are all about. We're just trying to give you some initial perspective, and then, you know, as you get more and more perspective and you're thinking about moving to town, then you know, you reach out to us and we'll keep giving you more perspective based on your individual goals and needs. And so I will zoom back in on Plattsburg, and they said, hey Max, we're considering Smithville Lake, and there's this little town on the north side of Smithville Lake, and we noticed that the property values up there seem like you get a lot more square footage for the price per square foot. And what's going on up there? What's the catch? Why is it less expensive up in Plattsburg? And if you tune into the vlog video, and you'll see we go into more details. We also do a pros and cons video that'll go into depth about the differences between Plattsburg and Kansas City area. But essentially it is that it's just far away. It's clear up here, and it's kind of, as you see, not really close to any major highways. You've got I-35, which is a major highway, but it's quite a ways away from there. And I-20, or this is 169 highway, which isn't a major highway, it's a highway, but it's still a little jaunt over to 169. That's definitely the closest highway to Plattsburg. And I-29 is clear over here. So I-29 will go from Kansas City clear up into Iowa and through Omaha. I-35 will go up into Iowa through Des Moines. And so they don't converge until they get down into the Kansas City metro. And Plattsburg is kind of, a little farm town isolated here on the north side of Smithville Lake. And the Platte River will run through Plattsburg, and then it will funnel into the Smithville Lake. And Smithville Lake was dammed up back in the day. The Corps of Engineers dammed it up to control flooding and flooded a ton of farm ground here. And really a fantastic lake. If you want to know more about Smithville, we have all of our standard videos on Smithville Lake, so you can dig into those, search for those on the channel. But today we're talking about Plattsburg, so I'm going to zoom in and show you what you're going to want to know about Plattsburg. So usually what you're doing is to get to Plattsburg, you're coming up 169 and you're heading over on 116. So that is the major road through Plattsburg. And you can see here that it'll come through Plattsburg, and it goes right out of Plattsburg and goes over to Lathrop, which is over here, which is a little closer to 35, and kind of another little farm town that is actually growing pretty good. Lathrop and Kearney are becoming really popular areas for the people that want to move out and get some acreage. And Plattsburg's no different, really. It's a different school district. It's its own school district. So the schools are, I wouldn't say they're bad schools, but they just don't have, they're not very big. There's not a huge student base. And so when there's not a huge student base and not a bunch of taxes collected, they just can offer limited after-school activities such as sports and that sort of thing. So, but it does have its own middle school, its own high school, and elementary schools. And I can show those to you here real quick while we're talking schools. You've got, all right, so you can see them here. There is a private school, it looks like an academy. There is another academy, Clinton County Academy, but the public schools are here. You've got Ellis Elementary School, you've got Clinton County Middle School, and Plattsburg High School right here. And let me see if the layer view makes it a little better. Yeah, then you can kind of see what we're looking at. And I think that is a little better. You can see the high school does have a pretty nice little campus. They've got a football field here and a track. And I think the middle school, let's see. Yeah, the middle school has the track, and it looks like there's a big soccer field here. I don't see any baseball fields. Where are those at? Well, anyhow, all of the schools are located right here, kind of on the south side of the main drag in town, which is this Broadway street that comes in here. And since we've got the satellite view up and you can kind of see what's going on, you can see right in here is downtown Plattsburg. And that's where you're going to find most of your action in town. I'll zoom in here. As far as places to eat and that sort of thing, Not a lot of options really, shopping and restaurants and that sort of stuff. Any nightlife is going to be pretty sparse. There are a couple of things that I'll point out. You got your local Pizza Hut and what is this? A Chinese restaurant, and let's see. There is the post office, and here's High Class Foods, which is kind of funny. Kansas City has High V, and Plattsburg has High Class, so pretty awesome. But it's your typical kind of like little Safeway, small town grocery store. But as you zoom in, there is a little bit of nightlife. So you've got, they have this courtyard. I think it's called the Backyard is what it is. And it's your, come hang out restaurant, beer garden. They have little taps out here where you can grab your beers, and I think they have some live music and stuff. It's pretty happening little spot, but not the best during the winter months. So you've got Kennedy's Lounge, which is a little bar here, and then these people are really nice. I'd like to give a shout out to Blondie's Brews. It's a little coffee joint, kind of like rather than Starbucks, they've got Blondie's Brews, and they have great coffee in there. The kind, where they grind up the beans fresh and make your cup of coffee fresh right there, if it's a latte or whatever you want. But they made me a nice cup of coffee while I was in Plattsburg doing the vlog video, and gave me some history lessons about Plattsburg. And I'll share one of those with you right now. Let me see if they have it on the map. Right by the courthouse. Where is the courthouse? I think it should be just up from Lonnie's Brews. Yeah, here it is. Right by the courthouse, there's a statue of a guy that, gosh, I forgot his name. Do I have it in my notes here? Anyway, it's not super important. What is cool, what is important is, what's cool is that there was this guy from Plattsburg, and he became president for the day. I guess when one president resigned back in the day, and for one day in between somebody else becoming president, I don't know if he's in most history books when you're studying history about all the different presidents, but sure enough, Plattsburg had a president for one day, and they have a big old statue of him right now in front of the courthouse. So pretty cool. When I was at the vlog video, we had a client buy some land, and we did our closing at Stewart Title, which is the local title company right here. And so you'll see me in that vlog video out in front of Stewart Title. But they have little gift shops, little boutiques, a little liquor and tobacco store, lots of little thrift shops, and your typical downtown city square type shops will be located in here. You got a floral shop, and you've got looks like a Masonic lodge. You got the Masons doing their activities right in here. Let's see, what else was there? There's a little pocket park. There's a little salon right in here to get your hair did. And so yeah, not a huge downtown area, but a really nice one, and probably where most of the locals are hanging out on the weekend. Probably have a fall festival and that sort of thing up in Plattsburg. So as you head out from the downtown city square, which is basically, you got Main Street, and we'll run into Broadway. Actually, it looks like it turns into, Broadway turns off here, and then the main drag Clay Avenue is down here, 116 Highway. But you will see lots of parks. I'll pull those up. And you can see that there's Perkins Park. Oh, here's the ball fields. I wonder if the high school kids use the baseball fields out here. But you've got Memorial Park, and there's Fireman's Park right here that's just west of the downtown square. Ted Moore City Park right here. There's a little picture of it with some playground activities and stuff. And then you can see this right here, not really a park, but it is a country club. So really nice golf course up here, winding through a couple of neighborhoods. And one thing that you'll notice is you have a, this pocket of housing that's all around downtown Plattsburg. And what's really cool, and you'll see in the vlog video, is Plattsburg is known for having the most registered Victorian homes in the country. So I don't think they have the most Victorian homes, but registered as historic homes, they have the most. And I learned that at Blondie's Brews as part of my history lesson from them. But you can see in here that these homes are all kind of packed together tightly. And a lot of these are historic Victorian homes where they have the, kind of gingerbread exteriors with the wraparound front porches and spindles and stuff. It is really cool. And on the vlog video, I took some video shots of some of those homes, some of the ones that really stood out to me as I was driving around. But if you're into Victorian architecture, then Plattsburg is probably a place for you. You get a little bit of that in Parkville, a little bit of that in Liberty too, but tons of it in Plattsburg. But as you go out from this little bit of housing right here by the schools and the city square, what you'll find mostly, and especially down here on the other side of the country club, is estate-sized lots and with a little bit of acreage. So you can see here this lake. It kind of shows up green on the Google Maps, but one of the homes that I shot on the blog was right in here and backed to this lake. And all of these homes have more estate-sized lots. Some are on a couple acres. Really nice subdivision here. So I think in this range would be in like the $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 range for some of these homes, especially the ones that are, looks like this guy owns a plumbing business. Torrey Plumbing Services is here, and he has a really nice house on the lake. Shout out to Torrey for the map video. But if you check the vlog video, I did that one there. That was the most expensive home. And then I did another one up here, just on the north side of the downtown city square. There was the least expensive home was right up in here. And then I think it was like 150-ish. Don't quote me on that, check out the vlog video. But then what we did for the second home on the vlog tour is we went up Y Highway here, and we went clear up here, and there was an acreage property on about 10 acres up here. And so, even though you're not technically in the city limits of Plattsburg, a lot of the people that live out here is a farming community. So back in the day, I think in the 50s, or the 30s, 40s, and 50s, when Plattsburg was first established, it was really built up as a cattle town. So a lot of these were cattle ranches that would make beef, and Kansas City was one of the country's largest beef exporters. And so a lot of those cows were born and raised in Plattsburg. And so I take you up here and show you an acreage property. That's what you're going to see a lot of, is in and out and around the Plattsburg kind of city limits area. A lot of these folks have 10, 20, 40, 120 acres. And occasionally you'll see those come available. So if that's what you're looking for, I think that's what our buyer, who was interested in Smithville, initially was looking at. He was seeing that, Max, I'd really like to buy a property with 5 or 10 acres, but gosh, that's really expensive in Smithville. How come it's so much less expensive in Plattsburg? And that's what you'll find if you want a little hobby farm or something, if you want to buy 10, 20, 40 acres, then you'll be able to get price per acre will be a lot less expensive up by Plattsburg on the north side of Smithville than it will as you go down Let me zoom back out. Up in here, it'll be a lot less expensive, and I think that's just because of the proximity to major highways than it will even be in Lathrop or Holt. Can get pretty expensive nowadays, especially as you get down into Kearney. It's not cheap to buy, price per acre. So I don't want to quote prices per acre for those areas, but I definitely could in a phone conversation, based on your needs, give you some pricing there. But let's see, what do we need to see? We've showed you the country club. There's also a municipal pool. I believe it was right in here. Yep, right by the schools there. And there is a bowling alley, a Plattsburg bowling alley, and enough things to do to, what is this, OmniSurf? Oh, that's an internet provider. Probably no surfing in Plattsburg. I don't think they have any beaches, maybe down in Smithville Lake, but yeah, so Plattsburg in general, it's not gonna offer all of the amenities and things that people love that are wanting to live in the suburbs close to the city center. It's definitely got a really small town feel, slower pace, and they have 2 gas stations in town, one on this end of town and one on this end, I think owned by the same people. But that's sometimes that's what people are looking for. They want to get away. They don't want all the hustle and bustle of the big city, but would like to live close to the big city. And let me take it off the layer view here and show you one of the things that you're going to want to know is the hospital. You've got one in St. Joe, you've got one in Cameron, and you've got one in Smithville. So I think most people probably go to Smithville Hospital to deliver their babies and that sort of thing. There is a little minute clinic and a pharmacy that's in Plattsburg, but if you're older and you're concerned about the proximity to the hospital, then that may be a concern of yours. It's probably a 20-minute drive to Smithville and 30 to Cameron and even more to St. Joe, depending on which hospital you're going to. So all in all, I think Plattsburg is a really nice area that people should know about, and it's kind of off the beaten path, so we decided to make a map video. If you are interested in Plattsburg and want additional information, please hit me up, me or Zach. If you dial the number that's in the description below, then it'll ring both of our phones, and whoever picks it up first will take your call. Or you can leave a comment in the description below. Maybe you're from Plattsburg and you came across this video and you think, Max, you really blew it. You didn't mention the most important thing about Plattsburg. Then put a comment below. We'd love to hear about that. And all of our subscribers, they'll read the comments, and so you'll be helping us inform people, and that's what this is all about. We just want to give you information as you're trying to think about moving to Kansas City and collecting data on the different options that are out there for you. We want to give you that information. So thank you so much for tuning in, and hit like, comment, subscribe so you'll be notified as new videos become available. And until then, we look forward to seeing you in the next one.